Hi everyone, now we're going to move on to review Unit 2, Lesson 2, Characteristics of Graphs. So we're going to go back into Delta Math and we're going to do first input versus output on a graph. Okay, so the graph of y equals f of x is shown below. Find all values of x where f of x equals 1. So remember that y and f of x are the same thing here, and that if we had a number inside the parentheses, that would be our x value. So we have our y value of 1, and we want to know all of the x values when y is 1. So here is y is 1. Then we're going to come across, and we're going to see that right there, when y is 1, x is 3. And there's really nothing else along this line. So that is our only answer. So all values of x where f of x equals 1, our answer is 3. Submit. And we are correct. Okay, sometimes you will have more than one, so make sure you go all the way across the line there. All right, so our next one is finding roots from a graph. So the graph of y equals f of x is shown below. What are all of the real solutions of f of x equals 0? So when y is 0, what is x? So if we remember from our notes and from Algebra 1 that x-intercept, 0, root, solution are all the same thing. They all mean the points where the graph crosses the x-axis. So let's go back and look. Here we are. Okay, so our first one would be -8. Then we keep going across and we get to 0. Then we keep going and there's nothing else. So -8 and 0 would be our real solutions. -8, comma 0. And that is correct. So just remember, sometimes the question might have a lot of words, but we're just remembering that a solution is the same as an x-intercept where it crosses here. Okay. All right, so next we have identify relative extrema graphically. So those are our relative minimum and relative maximum. The function f of x is graphed below. How many points on the graph represent a relative minimum? So these do not count. This is not a relative minimum, but we are looking for the turning point. So this would be a relative max. Let me go down. And this is a relative minimum, and then up, and this is I guess this is our absolute maximum, but the question is asking how many points, not what they are, represent a relative minimum. So we have one relative minimum here at D. So we answer the question, we're just going to put in a 1 and submit, and that is correct. All right. Ooh, it looks like we're going to hopefully get to all of these. Okay, so now we want to actually determine the absolute minimum value of the function f. So here's our graph, right? So if we want our relative minimum, we want to look for where the graph goes down the farthest, I guess is the non-mathematical way to put it. So we can see right here is our absolute minimum, right? This would be a relative minimum here, but this is our absolute. And that is at, I'm not sure I'm going to write it the right way, 0, -5. Okay, so that's where that point is. Oops. Determine the absolute minimum of the function. Okay, so I typed it in wrong. So you don't need to actually put the point. You're just going to put, I'm sorry, it says right here, the y value of the lowest point. So that answer would just be -5. All right, I'm still learning with you guys. Okay, hope this helped.